Mickey begins wrapping up the divorce section of our family series with this video on children in divorce. Thanks for spending your time with us today here at Saltbox Ministries. Our verse for the day is Mark 9:36 and 37. Then he took a little child and set him in the midst of them. And when he had taken him in his arms, he said to them, "Whoever receives one of these little children in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives not me but him who sent me."
Well, welcome back. Today we're going to finish up our series on divorce in our family series. You know, marriage is between a man and a woman. But when they divorce, what happens to the kids? You know, they're part of the family. Often they are the silent victims that watch and absorb the meltdown and destruction that takes place in the home between mom and dad. I just want to give you a few statistics for single parent homes and some of the problems that are happening with our kids. More than 50% of youths that are incarcerated for criminal acts live in single parent homes. 75% of kids in chemical dependency hospitals live in single parent homes. 63% of suicides are from individuals in single parent families, and 75% of teenage pregnancies and kids, you guessed it, are from single parent families. You know, insecurity and confusion flood the minds of children not equipped to handle such trauma and instability at home. Children can be caught in a tug of war between two parents bitterly divided and fighting for control. We don't have to look very hard to find out just why God hates divorce so much. In part 2 of our family series on children, I talked about the importance of mom and dad for the kids and what Scripture has to say about that. But we cannot simply ignore that there are millions of kids growing up without both parents. We need to deal with it. At some point, hopefully sooner than later, if the marriage is over, if reconciliation is out of the question for one or both of the parents, you gotta put some focus and priority on the kids. You don't divorce your kids. Your responsibility as mom and dad is still there, and they need you now more than ever. Regardless of how you feel about your ex, that's still their mom or that's still their dad, and they always will be to those kids. You know, there are some very big mistakes parents can make with the kids of divorce and should be avoided. And as I was thinking about some of the mistakes I've seen, or maybe some of the mistakes I've made, I thought I would just list a few of these for you. And maybe if you're going through this, maybe you can avoid some of these mistakes. Number one is using your kids as messengers or pawns to get at your ex, or pumping them for information. That's a big mistake. Kids don't need to be used that way. Number two, saying negative things about your ex-husband or ex-wife in front of the kids. Like I said before, that's their mom or dad. Number three, thinking that they can handle it, that this divorce is no big deal, or that they're better off, or because you're healed and you've moved on, that the kids should be too. It's not the case always. They're kids, they're dealing with different emotions and different things than you may be dealing with, and you need to be sensitive to the fact that they may not be where you are. Number four, that you think or act as though the kids need to pick sides, that you have to win this war for the kids. You know, mom's right or dad's right or vice versa. Number five, that you think that you can replace mom or dad by remarriage, or that your spouse can replace you by remarriage. You know, to the kids, both mom and dad are irreplaceable. It'll always be that way. Number six, depending on how young the kids are, what they can understand and what they can handle will vary. But never ever think that a divorce has no effect on your children. It always has an effect on the kids sooner or later. Number seven, money does not substitute for parenting. Kids need time and they need love, and little kids spell love T-I-M-E. If you're not spending time with them, they're going to feel like you don't love them. Number eight, your kids are watching and listening to what you do. Godly character, love, and consistency will win out in the long run. Even if you're not the primary caregiver, the influence you have on your kids is crucial. So those are just some of the mistakes that I was thinking about as I was working on this that I thought I would share with you guys. You know, statistics show that there are drastic increases in negative behavior for kids who are living in single-parent homes, including higher drug use, criminal acts resulting in incarceration like we talked about, suicides, teen pregnancy, just to name a few. You know, raising kids in a family with mom and dad isn't easy, but when you're doing it from separate homes, or when one person is completely out of the picture, it's extremely tough, and the risks for problems for the kids go way up. And as parents, we need to be aware of that. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about some things that we can do as parents, just a few, to help our kids as we're going through the divorce, or if we're already divorced and we're raising single kids. I want to really focus on single parents and some things we can do to help with our kids. And then we're going to move on into simply some of the things that a single parent is going through outside of the kids, things that they have to deal with now that they're on their own. And I hope you'll tune in with us, and I hope you check us out each day. God bless you. We'll see you back here tomorrow.